Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I am Andy Ruther, coming to you live from the Smut Studio in Venice Beach, California, with my co-host, Joey No Chill Prano.
Good morning, Andy. What time we got? 11:33. Yep, still morning. Good morning, Andy.
So noon, it turns into afternoon.
Well, noon, it turns into noon. 12:01, it turns into afternoon.
Yeah, I guess I never thought that one through. I learned something already. That's good. It's a great way to start the podcast. I have learned something.
I don't even understand. What did you just learn?
That technically, I guess I never thought 12:01 is afternoon.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm all about that. I mean, that's some woke shit right there.
You just thought that was two words that shared a root, noon and afternoon?
I'll be honest, never thought of it. But you have now woken my mind to understanding it.
Well, there you go.
I'm big into learning things. I couldn't stop. I couldn't
into learning things.
I couldn't stop watching
like that noon. The word noon is an afternoon.
You know, I tweeted that out last night. I kept watching that video.
Yeah, what are you watching? You're watching like Schoolhouse Rock for philosophy or something like that?
Well, the mayor sent it to me.
You're watching philosophy cartoons?
It was like, what, the allegory of the cave?
I don't know. I didn't watch it, bro.
It's a Plato thing, and apparently, you know, it's been out there, obviously, for thousands of years, but I watched it multiple times. It's an interesting way to look at life and, you know, to get introspective on things, and I'm like, man, this is where I'm at now. This is where I'm at in my life. Just watching.
You're in the afternoon of your life. You've woken. The morning has gone. You hit high noon when you had your brain damage, and now you're in the afternoon.
Yeah, see, look
soon
at
you'll
that.
Settle into the evening part of your life.
Look at this guy. He's a modern day Plato over here. I like it.
Thanks, Andy.
Joey, philosopher, no chill, Prano.
Yeah, we got a lot of breaking news to tackle right out of the gate.
We do, but before we do that,
you have pre-breaking news topics.
I do have to get to a CSI Savage Town update.
Okay,
this is important because I know all the dirtballs want to know what happened. I've done more research on the man who committed suicide because I have to know. I have to know what's going on in the building where I live. Here's more research. I talked to the gentleman who is one of the maintenance guys here, and I got some info about his room, about had you ever gone in there to fix anything? What's this guy's deal? Apparently, and it's kind of relevant what's going on right now with Jacksonville, big gamer.
Really?
So he said he had an entire setup of intense. I don't know. I'm not a gamer, but his setup was for a lot of video game stuff. And every time he went in there to fit nerd.
Just kidding.
Every time he went in there to
rest in peace, nerd.
Every time he went in there, the guy was like intensely playing Xbox or PlayStation. I don't know what he had, but he had the whole system set up with the TV and the audio. So I just wanted to add that. That's a little extra.
The whole system set up, you know, with the TV and the audio and the video game console,
the sound system. I don't know, but that's an extra little nugget of info.
Okay.
Big gamer.
Big gamer.
Yeah.
You know who else was a big gamer?
Your boy?
Manu Ginobli.
Oh, okay.
He was a gamer.
I thought you were going to go a different route with this.
Yeah. Manu Ginobli retired today.
He did. He's officially done.
Not from life. Rest in peace to the 127?
136.
136. But just from the NBA. Ginobli. The last of the big three. Gone from San Antonio. The dynasty. Officially, the book is closed.
I had a big debate with somebody about Ginobili probably a month or two ago on Twitter, of course.
Okay.
Because that's where all the debate should happen.
Right.
In 280 characters.
What's the debate?
I said he's without a doubt a Hall of Famer.
I think he probably is
because
a Hall of Famer. I don't know about without a doubt he's a Hall of Famer, but
one caveat, and we both know what that is.
Yeah.
It's the basketball Hall
Correct.
of Fame.
Yeah.
It is not the United States NBA Hall of Fame.
Correct. Yeah. So without a doubt, he's a Hall of Famer. based on his career in the NBA alone, I don't know. He's probably a Hall of Famer. I don't know if he's without a doubt a Hall of Famer. But
Yeah.
he's 100%. He 100% will be a member of the Basketball Hall of Fame, simply because, like you said, I got in an argument with somebody on Twitter the other day during the whole McGrady, Kobe, all that conversation we were having, because somebody was like, yeah, if you look at that Rockets team, more Hall of Famers on that team than Kobe's Lakers team, which is like, who are we talking about? Yao Ming is a Hall of Famer not because of his NBA statistics, but because he basically brought basketball to China.
Exactly.
The NBA.
Single-handedly is responsible for taking it to Asia.
And Arvydas Sabonis is in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's a good point. And that's my reasoning why.
Arvydas Sabonis averaged 12 points in the NBA.
And exactly. And that's why Ginobili
will 100% be in the Hall of Fame.
And that's what I was trying to argue with somebody.
Yeah.
And I just love ignorant people. And you can't, whatever. What are you going to do with stupid people? So, but he also, obviously
4-time champion.
I was going to say
he's better than LeBron. He's better than Steph. He's better than KD. We all know championships are all that matters. So 4. He's but he not only was he a 4-time NBA champion, he was a Euro League champion. He was an Italian League champion. He didn't come over to the NBA until I believe he was 24 or 25 years old, because he's 41 now, and he came over in 2002. He won 4 times with the Spurs. He often came off the bench. I believe he won 6th Man of the Year.
He did at one point.
Multiple All-Star. I'm sure he was never a first-team All-NBAer, but I bet he was a second and third teamer in his career. But that's it. Kawhi gone, and now all of the big 3 gone.
So here's some quick accolades he achieved. As you said, 4-time NBA champion, 2-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA third team, 6th Man of the Year in 2008, second team All-Rookie 2003. You're right. EuroLeague champion, EuroLeague Finals MVP.
Yep.
That year he was a champion. So
I think he was a league MVP in Italy.
Yeah, twice.
Yep. That's all before he's 24.
So again, it's the Basketball Hall of Fame, not the.
He will 100% be in the Hall of Fame. Again, if you were basing this solely, if it was the Major League Baseball, if it was like that, based solely on what he did in the NBA, I'm not sure he's 100% lock, but he is, because of the way the league is, he is 100% lock.
Sure. Well, look at those teams now. Obviously, Duncan, Hall of Famer. Ginobili. Again, we have an international player, which helps. Is Tony Parker a Hall of Famer?
I mean,
because there's no other Hall of Famers from France?
Yeah, I don't know what Parker did in other leagues before he came over. Parker was younger when he came over, but yeah, probably. He's probably simply because he's French.
Yeah.
And he also had a great career.
And let's not forget,
and he's not done.
Tony Parker was a Finals MVP.
Right. Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Think about that. Right now, Tony Parker was an NBA Finals MVP. Steph Curry's never been an NBA Finals MVP. That's some Play-Doh shit right there. Yeah. Mind blown.
Play-Doh shit. Well, let's not forget one of the reasons Steph isn't an NBA Finals MVP is Andre Iguodala is a Finals MVP and Steph isn't.
That's some Aristotle shit right there.
Fucking just naming philosophers now.
That's some Socrates shit right there. I don't know why. I don't know. That's my mind being blown.
You're going to have to GIF that.
That's the noise my dad makes. You know my dad makes sound effects. I think I've talked about that, right?
Is that his mind blown sound effect?
Well, no. Walt just makes sound effects. He'll be watching like golf and he'll just go. You're like, what?
Really?
Oh, yeah. My family.
Is he on the spectrum?
I don't know. I don't think so. But my family picked up on it years ago. Like these weird noises will just come out of my dad's mouth. You're like, what? What are you doing, Dad?
While he's watching golf?
Whatever he's doing. Or if he's walking, or he's always lurking. Walt's a lurker.
Yeah.
He'll walk around the house looking at the trees, or if he needs to do something with the yard, and he's always lurking. Like if
Not a very good lurker to also be a sound effects guy. It's like around the corner, you just hear.
You know, my dad is. You know, in Home Improvement, his neighbor who's looking over the fence. That's my dad, like backing out of the driveway or driving. Always just like, what am I going to hit leaving my parents' driveway to go on the street?
Oh, he'll what? He'll stay outside the car?
He'll stare from the kitchen. Just stare.
Oh, my dad used to not get into the car until you were pulled out of the garage. Like, he wouldn't get in the car in the garage. I'm like, get in the fucking car. He's like, no, I'm just going to make sure you get out okay. Get out okay? Oh, you lost? What are you, a fucking... You're like an airport worker? He's got like the fucking orange thing. Come on back. Straight back. Like, Luke, get in the fucking car.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Come to think about it. My dad's the same way.
Yeah.
I think it's just an old person thing. Unreal. Well, Prano, let's get to the New York Giants news.
Yeah.
This has got to make
my boy, Black Jesus.
Got to make you very happy.
I mean, super excited to lock up Odell.
Odell Beckham signed you looked it up before
5-year, $95 million contract, highest contract ever for a wide receiver, $65 million guaranteed, highest ever guaranteed for a wide receiver. And I don't know the math on it, but apparently he'll average 20 million or get around 20 million for the first 3 years. I don't know how that all works with like the fucking guarantee and all that, because that just leaves. I mean, even if you break down 95 by 5, it's like 19 million or whatever. So,
sure.
Yeah. So what? Then he'll go down to 18 for the last 2 years, something like that.
Well, we talked about it before the show. I think the needle is moving in the right direction for these big time skill position players to get guarantees. And then this is uncharted territory.
It used to be standard for a quarterback to get this. And
that was it.
Yeah. And now Gurley, and now Odell, and now, guys basically, I think it'll move to defense as well. I think Khalil Mack will probably get a guarantee.
Aaron Donald
will get a guarantee. I think people are just their agents are just going, hey man, like, no, fuck you. You want this guy? It has to be guaranteed, because we all know what can happen in this game. And you guys can cut people whenever the fuck you want, which is ludicrous. So
he got $65 million. I just looked up again. Gurley got $45 million guaranteed, which, like we were saying, these guys are hypothetically one cut or one, tackle, whatever it is, away from shredding their knee, which could end their career. But now it's like, okay, my career ends.
I have $65 million.
Yeah.
I will survive.
I'll be good.
Yeah.
So this is huge, I think.
Yeah. And as a Giants fan, I'm obviously excited about it. Odell coming off an injury. But you can't really ask him to have done more for the Giants than he has done in the games he's played in his first 4 years. I mean, he's, again, if you look at the numbers, like on a per game basis, in his first 4 years, he's ahead of everybody basically in everything. I'm not sure that's necessarily translates to team success, but I don't think that's on him. I don't think that's on him demanding the ball or anything like that. The Giants have just been bad and have not had a running game and have not had weapons. And what more can you ask him to do than take slants 75 yards to the house and catch 12 balls a game? And Eli Manning, over the course of his career, has never been a guy who's just like, I'm going to feed somebody the ball. He throws to the guy who's open. And I think also with Odell, he knows when in doubt, I can throw it to him even if he's not that open. So really, again, nothing more that you can ask for from a receiver than what he's done. I think he's more than earned his money. And honestly, Odell's been criticized as he's sort of gotten the diva tag, which I disagree with. Because
they're all divas.
Well,
I think all these receivers are divas.
Well, for a couple of reasons, I think it's almost like, the Me Too thing. It's like a guy who rapes a girl and a guy who like molests a girl, grabs a girl's boob or whatever. These are different levels.
Sure.
Like to say, to say Dez is a diva and Odell's a diva and Randy Moss was a diva and Terrell Owens a diva. It's like there's got to be levels. You can't just say diva wide receiver.
Yeah, but I would put all those guys. I would lump all those guys together. One.
Well, here's what I'll say about Odell Beckham.
What Odell has done on the sideline are all characteristics of a diva.
Except one thing that Odell's never done on the sideline is
he's throwing a tantrum.
Yeah, personal tantrum. You've never seen him in the face of his quarterback. You've never seen him in the face of his coach. He's never been a give me the damn ball guy. He just went through all of preseason without a deal. He's not holding out. He didn't hold out to get this deal. A lot of guys, a lot of diva players have said, I want to get paid and I'm not coming back until you pay me. He's gone through, I mean, rightfully so, coming off an injury. They shouldn't be playing him in the preseason anyway, but he's been out there practicing with his team. He's not holding out. He's never been a Terrell Owens style, in the face of his quarterback on the sideline. He's never criticized the coaching staff in press conferences, never criticized his quarterback. He's never criticized his offense. He's never criticized anything. He's just been a loud personality on the sideline with the kicking net and the crying and the.
But again, those are, in my opinion, diva things to do.
But again, I will say, if you don't draw a difference between those two things, I don't think you really understand what effect one sort of diva attitude has on a team versus another. If you look right now, the entire Giants locker room is celebrating that Odell Beckham got paid.
Dude,
his teammates love him.
Yeah.
Everybody in the organization has nothing good to say about
nothing bad
to say about him. He's not the guy who's I want to score my touchdowns and everybody else can fuck off. He's just never been that guy. And you look at, again, Terrell Owens. We've both defended Terrell Owens in his right to be in the Hall of Fame and shouldn't have waited. His stats speak for themselves, but he was on 5 teams. He did have people that were like, no, he's kind of a dickhead. He did throw quarterbacks under the bus. He did get into the face of coaches on the sideline. It's a different kind of diva, if you ask me.
We can agree on that. We can agree there's different levels of diva-dom.
Like, I think, again, it's sort of like Matt. I know Matt Damon got criticized for it, but he's like, yeah, Ben Affleck drunkenly groped somebody on camera one time. That's different than being a rapist.
Sure.
You know what I mean? This isn't all the same fucking, you're not all just fucking Me Too'd.
I mean, for the most part, I think we'd agree I don't want to say every, but off the top of my head, most successful known wide receivers have some level of diva in them.
Well, there's guys in the NFL now, the AJ Greens and the Julio Jones.
Okay, good point. They don't.
But now you look at it
But even AJ Green lost his shit last year,
right,
against Jalen Ramsey.
Right. And Julio Jones, is he gonna hold out for a contract? Again, there's levels of these things, but Le'Veon Bell and Aaron Donald and Khalil Mack, these guys are superstars and they want their money. They're not there. And Odell was there. And Odell was practicing, and Odell got his money. And he got his $65 million. And I think that goes a long way. And again, as a Giants fan, do you want your wide receiver kicking over kicking nets on the sideline? No, you don't. You just don't need people going, look at what the fuck he's doing. But I'd rather that 100 times than one finger in the face of my offensive coordinator or one finger in the face of my quarterback. 100 times. I'd rather him kick over 100 nets and go on 100 boat trips and fuck 100 French strippers with fucking blunts in his hand than point a finger at my quarterback on the sideline. Because I think that's divisive for your team. When you look at the way his teammates react to him, everybody seems to be on his side. Everybody has something positive to say.
How many years is this deal?
5 years.
So it's basically into his next quarterback.
Yeah, for sure.
Because Eli probably has, 2 or 3 left?
I mean, hard to say, but yeah, I mean, it's probably into his next quarterback. It would be, if Eli's still playing for the Giants in 5 years, he's won another Super Bowl.
Yeah. I gotcha.
But it's hard to say, these days in the NFL, guys are playing fucking into their 40s. Eli Manning's 37, I believe.
Well, we're talking about receivers. Who's going to be the Patriots receiver this year? I saw Eric Decker retired. That just didn't work out.
Yeah.
Seriously, who's playing receiver for the Patriots? Welker's out the first 4 games.
Right. No, Edelman.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Welker retired.
Years ago. Dude, all those white wide receivers.
I mean, Hogan.
Oh, yeah, Hogan's good.
Yeah. So you got Hogan, Edelman when he comes back. But it's like, it's the Patriots. What are they going to go in their first 4 games without Edelman?
3-1.
Yeah. Okay. Let's say they go 2-2. No,
yeah.
I don't think anybody's like, oh, no, season's over. We're never going to catch the Jets. How are we ever going to make up that 1 game behind Tannehill's Dolphins? We are. The Nathan Peterman Bills.
I was talking about this actually with Michael Magid last Saturday. And he's a Boston guy, so he's diehard Patriots. But even he said when we got some food after our show, he's like, you know what nobody ever talks about? Maybe they do. He's like, even as a Patriots guy, man, our division has been such a and then we started breaking down the other divisions in the AFC in particular. He's like, we've had minus a couple really good defensive years from the Jets. It's the Pats division every year.
Right.
Again this year. Like, I would be shocked, wouldn't you, if the Patriots did not win the division?
Yes.
Who's gonna contest them? Not the Bills, not the Dolphins, definitely not the Jets.
No. Well, you're not all in on the Sam Darnold is the Messiah train?
I saw you tossing some shade.
It's funny because I don't care about preseason. I don't watch preseason.
Yeah.
But obviously, you build your own timeline on Twitter, and a lot of the people that I follow are sports people and New Yorkers. And then obviously I follow a lot of dirtballs who tend to tweet sports too. So I'm reading these, holy shit, can you believe what Sam Darnold's doing? And you saw my tweet because I just took the fucking box score because I go check in at the game at halftime and I'm like, oh, Darnold's 25 for 25 for 600 yards in the first half and 5 touchdowns. He's 8 for 16 for 93 yards and a touchdown. Like, what? I understand maybe he's looked good or whatever, but this is why this is the sure thing. And the tweets I was seeing a lot of, which made me actually write my tweet, is like, thank you to the Giants for passing on this guy. Have fun with washed Eli Manning and Saquon Barkley behind no offensive line. And you go in and you're like, and like in my head, first of all, I'm like, well, we signed to the top free agent offensive lineman. We drafted a great offensive lineman in round 2. We do have Saquon Barkley and Eli Manning. Let's see what Eli's doing. And I was like, holy shit. Okay. So this is what's inspiring these tweets?
Well, I'll be honest, man. I haven't watched any preseason. Like, none. I've had maybe 2 games on in the background for maybe 10 minutes while I was doing something else before I left on a couple nights. So I've watched 0.
Yeah, I'm pretty superstitious about the preseason.
It means nothing.
I don't think these guys should play. Like, Eli Manning was out there, obviously, there's not really, knock on wood. Do we have any real wood in this place? That, he's not the kind of guy who gets hurt. So you don't really have this fear of what's going to happen. What if we lose our quarterback in the preseason? But even Eli, what's he out there for? What's he out there for? To get in rhythm with who?
Well, did you see what Sean McVay was doing with the Rams? I love it. I'm shocked more coaches don't do that. What is it? Is this the 3rd week? The 3rd week, they say, is like the dress rehearsal for the regular season where the starters play a whole half.
Yeah, that was last week.
Okay, yeah. And then this week
past week, yeah.
And then this upcoming or this week now is where guys are trying to make the final roster.
Right.
McVay didn't play any of the top dogs on either.
Yeah.
So he didn't play Goff, Gurley.
Good.
And people were like, well, most coaches don't do it. He's sitting on the last 2 games.
Sure. I'd sit him all 4. Unless you're talking about like a guy like Saquon Barkley, for example, got hurt. But it's not like a serious injury, but then they're going to keep him out for precaution. But it's like, What does Saquon Barkley need to know about the Giants offense that he can't learn in fucking practice? Get the ball, find a hole. Like, you're the number 2 overall pick. You're a running back. This is not fucking, you're not the quarterback. I understand playing a rookie quarterback. Okay, you don't know if Darnold's going to start or he's not going to start. You don't know if Mayfield's going to start or he's not going to start. These guys have to get game reps. Maybe there's a quarterback, I get Mahomes has to play. But why would you play a big time wide receiver? Why would you play a big time running back? Why would you play a quarterback who owns his position?
Well, I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here. I think why, and I'm not saying I necessarily agree with it. I think why the coaches do it is to get that real time action, right? Like of, I don't know, taking the hits from another team and just live game action just to prepare you. It's like anything.
I say fuck all that. I'd rather go. Guess what? You're gonna have your first live hit in the regular season because
I guess the
God
argument
forbid you get hurt.
I guess the argument would be like, as comedians, we see big name comics. It's called would drop in a small room, to work on jokes, right, before they hit the big clubs or the big theaters.
Yeah,
I guess that could be maybe an analogy.
That would be an analogy, and my argument to that would be there's 0% chance that Bill Burr drops into a show and somebody punches him in the throat, making it impossible for him to do his big show at the theater.
Okay, fair enough.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, if it was true up on mics, like fucking you seen cartoons where they're like, we're throwing tomatoes at people if we don't like them, I would not go there as a headliner.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a wide receiver, if you're a premier wide receiver, a premier running back, even a high draft pick, unless you have something to prove, unless you're trying to earn your starting job, I would never play him. McVay knows Goff is starting, knows Gurley's starting, knows all these guys are playing. What do they have to prove?
Yeah. Well, we know they'll be ready for. Yeah. They'll be healthy at least.
Sure.
For opening day.
I mean, we've seen big time. Marquise Lee is done for the year.
Done.
He got hurt in this past week's game. He's done for the year. He was, I guess, arguably going to be their number 1 wide receiver.
Yeah.
And he's done. And also,
and especially on a team that doesn't have the best receiving core.
And also, there was a lot of talk about the way the penalties changed from, I don't know if you saw this, from week 2 to week 3.
Yeah.
There's a ton of these.
Players aren't happy.
Right. There's a ton of these like helmet to helmet or like personal fouls called. And then there was less this week. Now, did players adjust the way they were hitting or did the refs? I don't know. But one thing's for sure. That guy did not go high on Marquise Lee. I don't know if he didn't go high because he didn't want to get a penalty, but he went low. And now his fucking knee's gone.
But that's what Jags players are saying.
Yeah.
They're saying because of what's going on in this ambiguous area of penalties and nobody knows how to fuck the tackle anymore.
Right.
That shredded.
And that's my point.
His knee.
And that's my point is also week 3 of the preseason is everybody's dress rehearsal. It's the fucking refs dress rehearsal. It's how do I tackle dress rehearsal. Fuck all that shit.
Yeah.
You're not out here for fucking... You're not playing. I would never play you.
Yeah. Well, it's almost here, Prano. The season starts a week from Thursday when we'll be in Chicago for our live podcast, which, again, you guys can get tickets to.
Yeah.
Chicago, DirtBall Fam Meetup.
Comedy Bar. If you go to the Comedy Bar website, there's a link to their second stage, or we've put out the tweets ourselves I believe the link is in our description for all the podcasts.
Correct.
Thursday night, opening night of the NFL, will be when we do a live podcast. I'm getting more and more excited for like every aspect of this. Like every time I think about something, I'm like, I'm pretty stoked for this live podcast. Then I'm pretty excited to go to these baseball games. Pretty excited to watch NFL Sunday, week 1 in Chicago.
Chicago's a great city.
A great city to watch some football in.
What? How many times?
Say all that, and then, oh yeah, I'm headlining the whole weekend at the Comedy Bar.
Icing on the cake.
I get to road trip with Ruther. That's always fun.
Oh, you get to deal with flying with me.
I'll probably throw it out there. Might even throw it out there right now the old my favorite thing to do whenever we road trip together. All donations made via Venmo will be used on alcoholic beverages after Andy Ruther wants to go home. So Venmo me or Venmo the Dirty Sports Podcast.
Although that was pre-woke Ruther.
Yeah. So what does that mean?
It means like I'm chiller now, bro.
So now you won't be as like, dude, we're done. It's over. It's time to go.
I'm the one who's like, dude, the bars are open until 5. I don't even drink.
Yeah.
I'm the one who said that a couple weeks ago. I got Guy on Couch is providing some cannabis for us.
Fantastic.
So I'm covered.
Great.
I'll be in my own zone.
Love it.
I'm excited too. Chicago's a great city. It's one of my favorite cities.
I've already gotten some suggestions on food. Somebody gave me a good breakfast spot. We're gonna have to do some Chicago deep dish. That's for sure. I like deep dish. I'm a deep dish guy. It's not my preferred like everyday pizza, but certainly.
I'm stoked, man. 2 ball games. I was looking. We still have not pulled the trigger yet, but we're gonna pull the trigger for the White Sox and Cubs using SeatGeek. Dude, I'm stoked. I was looking at SeatGeek. I was looking at SeatGeek for so much stuff. I was looking for our Chicago trip. I'm for sure. I've decided, and we should do this together. Rams, Chargers at the LA Coliseum.
Yeah.
I want to check that out. I was looking at concerts. I still want to go see a concert at the infamous Forum in Inglewood. So many options. That's what I love about SeatGeek. Breno, I can literally hop on it before bed and check everything from sports to comedy to concerts. It has it all.
Let's get those White Sox tickets on SeatGeek, and then let's tweet out our section so people can come watch Breno watch baseball.
We should. And guys, best of all, you should download SeatGeek because all you guys get $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. Just download the SeatGeek app and enter promo code DIRTY today. That's promo code DIRTY for $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. SeatGeek, life's an event. We have the tickets. Okay, I want to bring up this Andy Dalton Buffalo Bills story.
Yep.
Because I really am going to be curious on your take on this. I got into a like a deep text discussion with a lady who's from Buffalo, and like you could tell she's like, dude, you're kind of being a dick.
You were kind of being a dick?
She felt that way about my take on this whole situation.
What's your I think to me it's all in good fun.
So the Bengals played the Bills yesterday,
yeah,
preseason, and as we know, the Bills made the playoffs last year for the first time in 17 years.
Yeah.
And the reason they did was because the Bengals upset the Ravens week 17 in Baltimore. It was like a 4th and 17 play, and I forget who Dalton threw it to. If it was, I think it was Tyler Boyd or somebody. Anyway, the Bengals had some like improbable 60-yard touchdown to basically end that game. Meaningless game for them because they go 7-9. They knock Baltimore out of the playoffs. The Bills make the playoffs. So Bills fans are so happy. First playoffs in 17 years. And there's some good things that came of it. They donated.
Yeah.
Hold on, but let me get there. They donated $450,000 to Andy Dalton's charity, which then he took that money, I guess it's for a cancer charity, and donated all of that $450,000 to a Buffalo, in particular, cancer charity. Here's where I'm going to toss shade. And this is where this girl's like, dude, you're kind of being a dick. Here's what I'm saying. Andy Dalton shows up in Buffalo yesterday. That was last NFL season. You can say he's responsible, but also, well, the Bengals receiver caught the ball. He ran at it. You know, there's a lot of factors in play here. They give him a standing ovation to the point where the Buffalo personnel, like their team media, brings out Dalton. And he's waving. I watched the whole video for 30 seconds. He's getting a standing ovation in Buffalo Stadium. This is my knock on Buffalo. You guys look fucking pathetic. You do. Hold on. I get that the charity and all that. That's all great stuff. No one's knocking that. But my argument is this. Just be happy. You're giving a standing ovation to an opposing team's quarterback because he got you into the playoffs where you don't win? Like,
well,
what? My point is, name a time. Have we ever seen this?
Well, but hold on. Here's my argument. So there's the donation to charity, there's like applauding him, not physically applauding him, but there's like the joke of he saved our season. He gave us this playoff berth. We're gonna give to his charity. This is our like fun way of being like, haha, you got us in the playoffs. Here's money for your charity,
which is good.
Then, like you said, the whole like donating it to like, what part of this standing ovation is all a part of that? Like, then he gave the money back to Buffalo. It's kind of, to me, it's just like, I mean, are they still really giving him a standing ovation because of the past? I think now they're giving him a standing ovation because of the whole thing.
Okay. I can understand that.
So it's like now, now it's become
a
fucking story.
But to me, it turns into like.
And also, let me just say one more thing before you go on. It's the preseason. They're not. This is not a regular season. This win or loss matters. We're gonna fucking, be Mr. Nice Guy to opposing quarterbacks. This is the preseason.
Well, the vibe I got, and I see your point. The vibe I get is you've set the bar too low, Buffalo, and that's kind of maybe where I come from.
They hadn't gotten in the playoffs in 20 years,
17 years, and I get that.
Also, they're Buffalo. I mean, people go there for a fucking waterfall. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
like,
raise the expectations.
Wings.
Why have such low expectations in life? That's all I'm saying.
I think it's all in good fun. I think it's all in good fun. I think it's been a good story. I think everybody was the winner here. Everybody involved on both sides of these teams was the winner. Andy Dalton got to do something good for charity and gave back to Buffalo. Buffalo got to be in the playoffs. They donated. I mean,
again, the charity stuff is great.
Like, to me, it's a different thing than like, oh, they donated to Joe Flacco's foundation because he threw a pick that got them into the playoffs. You know what I mean? It's like everything here is positive.
And I get that. But I'm looking, I'm just, I don't know. From my perspective, I just see like, yay, we made the playoffs. And then we put up 3 points and we gave a bigger standing ovation to a quarterback because a team beat another team than any of our own players who still got us to the playoffs. Like that's my argument, I guess, too, is that sure, Andy Dalton made a pass, again, kind of like a miracle pass at the end of the game, but Andy Dalton didn't get the Bills to 9-7 and make the playoffs last year. That's all I'm saying. Show a little respect for your own players. Look, to me, it's kind of like when the bar has been set.
I'm sure, but it's like let's not say that this first time the fans have shown up or clapped since the season. Like, I'm sure we know Buffalo fans. I'm sure there's people they're tailgating outside their practices every day.
Are you saying I'm grasping for straws here?
I just think, yeah. I mean, it's almost. And by the way, shout out to fucking Manu Ginobli for not doing this, who just retired today on Twitter without the Kobe Bryant, Derek Jeter 2-year-long fucking retirement tour. Manu Ginobli said, "I'm retiring today. I'm not retiring in 2021." Everybody suck my dick from now until then. But I mean, we've seen this before where players go to other opposing stadiums and they give them a gift before a game that matters. We're both going to try to win this game. Oh, here's your fucking the golden pizza cutter, Kobe, for being in fucking New York for your last game. Here's the golden cheesesteak. Here's the fucking, we've seen this.
Yeah, I get
slurp the fucking opponents.
I get it. That's corny. That's hack too.
But by the way, Manu Ginobli deserves to be in the Hall of Fame just for not doing a cheddar dick retirement tour.
I have a feeling like I can see Jeter and Kobe going on like a post-retirement tour together.
Yeah. I mean, I just imagine at this point, like the women they cheat on their wives with, like go home with like, he's like, here's the fucking golden cheesesteak. She's like, what is this? He's like, it's your parting gift today. I'm just giving out shit for my retirement tour.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Like I said, that's why I wanted to bring up the Andy Dalton thing, though. I don't know if I was forcing it. I just looked at it as
if this was the regular season and Cincinnati doesn't make a trip to Buffalo until week 15 and this game, is going to determine have a big part in determining whether or not they make the playoffs again. I wouldn't be all fucking nicey with their quarterback before that game, but it's the preseason. Cancer charities are involved. Fucking
my vibe is this at this point of Bills Mafia. I kind of get the vibe. We all know the whole Bills Mafia and slamming people through tables, and it's all fun. And you and I both agreed that we feel that's kind of played out. You got to come up with a new gimmick. But I almost get the vibe, maybe it's because I'm competitive, of they've just accepted mediocrity, when my mentality is, why accept mediocrity, especially in the NFL, where any team can win?
But your fans and your franchise are two wholly different things.
It's maybe I'm saying that because I come from
for example, as a Mets fan, Mets fans have not accepted that this team is a fucking dumpster fire and the ownership is garbage. People are going to games, and the Mets have been winning the last few weeks. Guys are going to games with bags on their head. Sell the team. It's like there's a completely different. There's a distinct line between your fans and your franchise.
Sure.
And often those two things have nothing to do with each other.
Well, I guess the bigger question is, what type of fan base do you want or do you prefer? Because as much as we like to bitch or make jokes about, let's say, like a Boston fan base or a Philly fan base, I still respect those fan bases for being passionate. To me, and the reason that
Sean Merriman said Buffalo's fans best he ever played for.
Sure. But to me, again, I think why this story hits home so hard is because I see a big similarity with Cincinnati Bengals fans and Buffalo Bills fans. Dude, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I'll never forget after that playoff game in 2014, after the Bengals choked away against the Chargers. I'll never forget going to those bars. How everybody was dancing. They didn't care. And I was sitting there, in all Bengals gear thinking, this is pathetic. You guys have just accepted mediocrity. You've accepted losing. Like, that's not how you should be as a fan. I'm not saying it's a life or death situation, but set the bar a little higher. Expect to win, want to win. You always say this, it's Super Bowl or bust, and I agree with you.
Yeah, I just don't think that this particular story is any proof that the Buffalo Bills fans are like, oh, all we wanted was to make the playoffs.
Okay.
I think this is snowballed and is now a funny fucking thing where they're like, wasn't that funny when we gave money to Dalton, like, because he got us in the playoffs? And it was like, haha, look at, like, this is what we're going to do. And then it snowballed. He gives the money back. He gives it specifically a bubble. And now everybody's happy. Everybody's just like, thinks it's fun and funny. And he got applauded for it.
Okay.
And I mean, look, I know you're an Andy Dalton, you are maybe the world's foremost Andy Dalton hater, but like, I'm by no means an Andy Dalton fan. I don't give a fuck. I always thought, like, especially on the Hard Knocks, like the cheddar dickery of the fucking rubber ring and all that nonsensical fucking Christian bullshit that, I'm out on all that stuff, but like, fine. Who cares?
Well, look, obviously I've been very critical of Andy Dalton in the past.
I think it's a reach for you. I think this is
that's why I'm bringing it up.
I think I think you still hang on to some, you want to say that you're broken up with the Bengals, but I think that, there's still some part of you, you're with your new girlfriend. You still think about that chick that you broke up with. And, I still think you hold some ill will toward the Bengals, and you're ready to throw shade any opportunity you get at the Bengals and anybody that is cheering for the Bengals. And
well, you're right. I will not disagree with that. There's definitely still feelings there, and some animosity towards him.
And then there's like, we have some outspoken Bills fans that have been members of the Dirtball fam that you may or may not have lifelong beef with at this point. Like, I think there's a lot of emotions running through your decision here.
We also have some great Bills fans who support the show, and they'll hear this, and I'll be interested to hear their opinions. I guess for me, the big silver lining on all this was, don't accept mediocrity. That's all I was trying to say.
To me, if like, I mean, the only thing I'll say in defense of your argument is like, I couldn't imagine Giants fans doing this.
But see, you bring up the point, and that's what I want to add on to. I can't remember, not just Giants fans, I can't remember any time, can you? And I thought about this, where I've seen this sort of treatment to an opposing team's player who did not formerly play for that team and come back.
Yeah.
I can't think of it, whether it's preseason or not. Can you think of a time where they've given a standing ovation to an opposing team's player that never played for that team?
Well, again, I mean, I think these retirement tours, you see a lot of it.
Sure.
But, I mean, there's examples of it.
Okay. I can't think of any.
Yeah.
You can't either.
Not off the top of my head, but I'm sure there are.
Okay. Well, the good news for both Cincinnati Bengals and Buffalo Bills fans are neither of your team is doing anything deep in this year.
I don't think
in the playoffs.
No.
So you guys can both embrace and have a giant big 7-9 party together.
You're not all in on like the Peterman Bills?
Is he going to start or is Josh Allen?
I don't think they've decided.
I mean, Peterman had the worst game in NFL history last year.
Yeah.
Peterman's game against the Chargers was blinking guy meme on loop. That's all it was. It's like 3 hours of blinking guy.
There's a reason you play him in the preseason. You know what I mean? There's not a reason you play your starter, though.
Yeah. Well, I did like McCarron, but
he got hurt?
Yeah.
How long is he out for?
I don't know. Like I said, I haven't really followed preseason at all.
Yeah.
Dude, you get like once NFL hits, I've been saying this. My Sundays are done.
Right.
Like I got to take advantage of beach, pool volleyball, whatever it is, especially being outside.
And also now in the preseason, they play a game on Thursday, they play a game on Friday, they play a game on Saturday. I don't know what the fuck day. Like, that's why I didn't know. I think in the back of my head I knew from Twitter, but like it certainly wasn't on my radar that like Giants Jets was on. I think they played Friday or whatever.
Yeah.
It wasn't on my radar that like, oh, I got to tune into that. So only when I went onto Twitter and people were like, Darnold is walking on water, was I like, we're going to fucking find out what, like, I was like actually nervous. I was like, oh my God, has Sam Darnold completed 40 consecutive passes? And now we are going to look like dipshits for passing on him. And then it was like, oh, he's 8 for 16 with 93 yards.
But is Darnold even going to start for sure?
I don't know. I don't think they know. Like, I don't think they know if it's going to be him or Bridgewater or fucking McCown.
Yeah, I always forget about Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah.
That's going to be one of the big storylines this NFL season is how these rookies do. Because there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rookie quarterbacks.
Yeah.
The other big storyline is, will the Cleveland Browns O-line coach die of a massive heart attack?
I mean, the people that have come, like, we had a couple people come at us about our calling Cleveland out.
Well, somebody wanted to make a bet.
Yeah. Clearly that's never happening ever again. Shout out to fucking Mac. The Dolphins fan. Is Mac alive? I wonder if Mac listens to the show still.
He's still after that fan proposed the bet with about the Browns. I looked. He still follows Dirty Sports. Pretty sure I blocked him personally. I was so angry.
Yeah.
I was so angry, dude. I was so angry.
Still waiting for that Bitcoin money to come through. Get on that Robinhood app, bro.
There you go, Prano. That's what he needs to do.
Max got to get on that Robinhood. I'm already making money on Robinhood.
That's good, guys.
I'm investing myself in some, what's it called? Cryptocurrency?
Yeah, Robinhood, guys. You got to get on Robinhood. We're working with Robinhood right now. What I love about Robinhood is there is no cost or commission fees. We all know other brokerage firms charge you up to $10 for every trade, but Robinhood doesn't charge commission fees. Trade stocks and keep all of your profits. I also love, because I'm not very savvy when it comes to stuff. Even though my old man is a retired stockbroker, I don't understand it. I don't get it. But Robinhood has these easy to understand charts and market data.
I mean, look, you're talking to a guy who is spent most of his adult life as a starving artist. I am currently invested in multiple cryptocurrencies, and I just sold my stock in a solar power company. Like I just sold solar stock.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
You're really enjoying this.
I'm loving it. I get up every day. I check how my chart's looking. Not great today. Down 0.57%. Not a huge loss. But look, that's my week.
That's great.
That's my month.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, my order of my solar. I'm out on solar.
You're out. You're
done.
done.
I thought for sure solar, the next big thing. I'm out.
Well, guys, Robinhood is giving DirtBalls a free stock like Apple, Ford, or Sprint to help build your portfolio. And you guys can take advantage of all this great stuff simply by signing up at dirtysports.robinhood.com. Once again, that's dirtysports.robinhood.com. And that link will be in the description of this episode. You guys can hop on in just like Prano.
Yeah, please do. And if you're more experienced in this stuff, get on and DM me with some of your Robinhood picks of the week.
Yeah, love it.
So I can get in. I got some money to spend now that I'm out on solar.
That's great.
You know what I mean?
That's great. Take advantage of that. Okay, so.
And I didn't have to pay a Walt Ruther to sell that share for me either.
Oh, shade of my old man.
He's like, well, that's going to cost you a couple bucks.
Dude, yeah. I went to work. I took an economics class in high school. Went to work with my dad one day for class because they wanted you to write. It worked out. They're like, do something with economics. Like, well, my dad's a stockbroker. He's like, go to work, write a paper about it.
It was like a take your son to work day, or you just like went to work with your dad?
I went to work with my dad. It was my dad, he never swore, like dropped F-bombs. That was the first, dude, I was 8. What was I? I was 16 or 17. It was the first time I ever heard my dad drop the F-bomb at 16 or 17. It was just damn or shit. He never used any like the really bad words. And it was because maybe I have the same maybe I got it from my dad, the road rage. We were pulling into the parking garage and, his office was in downtown Cincinnati. It was great. It overlooks actually the Great American Ballpark now. And somebody basically just flew through and cut my dad off. And he's like, that motherfucker. And I'm like, whoa.
I thought you were going to tell me you were there. And he was like, buy, sell, fuck. That was just somebody cutting him off in the parking lot. When you went to your dad's office, like what was it? What was his day to day? You just sit in his office with him? You're like, what are you going to do now?
Lots of staring at all,
lots of computer screens.
Lots of screens.
He was a gamer
with the charts. And then he had a client come in to meet him. And I think the guy had a lot of money. My dad dealt with some people that had some fucking money. What I learned though, but my family had learned this, and I knew this even before I went in. My dad was basically throwback to an old SNL sketch. Rob Schneider hanging out by the copier?
Yeah, totally.
That was my dad.
Making copies.
My dad loves copies. So even when all the internet age came in and emails and all that, my dad would still send stuff. He'd print copies at work and send it via the mail. Like he still
does to you. He's still mailing you shit.
Like he still does.
He wasn't big on the fax machine?
No. He just loves mailing shit. I mean, I remember after my brain injury, because I had to take really specific eye drops in my left eye, he mailed me a thing he saw that he printed up from work. I'm like, dude, email would have taken 2 minutes.
Yeah. He likes the mail. Supporting the U.S. mail system.
How much do you think Walt charged his old company? How many, what do you...
Oh, yeah. Plus free mail? It just goes out on the company postage?
But between that and making copies, how much did my dad rip off the old company?
Just for paper? It's unbelievable.
Fucking Walt.
I always loved going to work. My two going to work my dad memories that stand out are when he was measuring Patrick Ewing for a suit. I got to meet one of my idols growing up, and my dad was standing on a table.
Where did that happen?
That happened at his office at Donna Karan when he was working for Donna Karan. He was the head of production, and Patrick Ewing decided he was going to be, getting some classy, fancy suits.
How old were you?
It was after my senior year of high school. I was 18. I was like, I'm going to Lehigh. It's like, we played Lehigh when I was at Georgetown. And I was like, oh, yeah, that must have been There's been some games like, yeah, we won pretty good.
Well, that's cool also that you get to meet Patrick Ewing at that age.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Your perspective of meeting him at 9 versus 18.
Yeah, totally.
It's completely different.
And then I remember when I was like 13 or 14, I was definitely not that old, but I wasn't that young either. I was early teens, and we were going out to lunch. So I was up in his office, and so there's when you work at for a fashion company like that, a lot of things. There's like a showroom, there's fitting rooms, there's like all this stuff. So we get from my dad's office and stops on the floor where it's like a fitting room, and literally 2 like model 10s that are there like as runway models are like, are you guys going up or down? And my dad goes, whichever way you're going, come on in. I was like, oh, my dad's a pimp. He's like, what if they were going up? You know what I mean? He's going down. He's going to take them to the fucking basement. And they got in. And my dad just starts like chatting up these models like, oh, yeah. I was like 13. I was like, this is amazing. I was like, invite him to lunch, Dad.
That's a good take your dad to work or go to work with your
take
dad.
Your son to work. Yeah. And I used to go to fashion shows with him all the time. And we just sit like literally front row of like, fashion week. I'm just like a 13-year-old kid in like Air Max and fucking, shorts and like a Knicks jersey. Like that's Ralph Lauren. That's P. Diddy. like, all right, this is dope.
Yeah, you must have been exposed to a lot of stuff at a young age. That's cool. And you get to see people and meet people. Well, Joe, you know who else is making us look good? We're talking about fashion.
Oh, yeah.
I might as well talk about your look today.
Thank you. Got my Flag and Anthem t-shirt, my Flag and Anthem shorts. Andy can back me up on this. From day one when we started working with Flag and Anthem, because there's a lot of companies we worked with that you may have noticed we don't work with anymore because we stick with companies that we actually like believe in.
Sure.
And I said the first time we ever had a call with Flag and Anthem after they sent us some stuff, I said, I am from a fashion family. Like my dad worked in this is nice stuff. Like I approve. I will wear this.
Sure.
And I have a pretty high bar on like what I will and won't wear. And I basically am in Flag and Anthem full time now.
Yeah. Well, my bar has been completely. I talked about the Buffalo Bills fans, Cincinnati Bengals fans need to raise the bar. Don't accept mediocrity. Flag and Anthem basically helped me raise my bar.
Yeah.
I don't dress like such a slob anymore. I'm rocking the Flag and Anthem shorts. I got the Flag and Anthem hat with my Zeke Walk t-shirt. And you guys can also step up your apparel game by going to flagandanthem.com. Drop promo code DIRTY. Get to 25% off that first order. It's a great deal, guys. Their fall line is currently out. I was looking at flannels last night at flagandanthem.com. And once again, if you send us a screenshot, you get an automatic follow back and a koozie.
Yep.
2 koozies.
It's been hot here in LA the last couple months. The longest heat wave that I recall in LA. And I was doing the same thing, Andy. I was like, oh, it's going to cool down again. I got to get me a flannel. Got to up my flannel game again with some new fall flannels. 25% off. How do you not get a flannel?
Exactly. And again, guys, anybody who sends a screenshot to me or Dirty Sports,
you can wear LL Bean or something. Yeah. Come on, man.
You get 2 free koozies. So go to flagandanthem.com, drop promo code DIRTY for 25% off that first order. Okay. Obviously, it's a pretty light time of year. I would argue the lightest time of year.
Thank God for the Ginobli and Odell Beckham news, huh?
Yeah.
Thank God you had a hot take on Andy Dalton and the Buffalo Bills fans.
Yeah. We were actually going to record last night, and I had played pool volleyball all day. And my phone was actually in my apartment. So look at me trying to grow. I'm like, I'm not even going to look at it.
Yeah.
It's in my apartment. I got up. I was like, shit, it's 6:20. We don't got shit to talk about. Let's bump that to tomorrow so I can watch Play-Doh videos all night. But anyway, I do.
Somebody who's just tuning in is like Play-Doh, like the fucking Fun Factory.
I have to bring up this Kobe Bryant quote. I know we killed Kobe last episode, and we've done a lot of Kobe fucking dissing lately.
And hey, I want to say this because do I dislike Kobe for being a selfish basketball player? Yeah, I do. But like, I don't think telling the truth about Kobe is killing Kobe. Right?
Yeah. Well,
I don't feel like I've taken a lot of digs at Kobe other than like, bringing up the sexual assault stuff. But saying, just talking about his actual career in the NBA, not exactly taking shots at the dude.
Well, I thought this was a very interesting quote. In my opinion, again, I could have read this the wrong way. We might have a different opinion on this.
I don't know what this is, so.
Well, I'm going to read it how he said it. Kobe Bryant was discussing LeBron James' arrival in LA on Rich Eisen's show. And this is what Kobe said. If you are a fan of mine, you are a fan of winning, you are a fan of the Lakers. I bleed purple and gold, so that is above anything else. I have been a Lakers fan since I was yay high. That is never going to change. It's about winning championships, so they'll fall in line. It's that last line. He's talking about Lakers fans and not approving of LeBron. It's about winning championships, so they'll fall in line. So that could be taken two ways. Kobe's saying, hey, LeBron is in LA. The Lakers are going to win championships. Or it could be maybe how I saw it. Again, I could be completely wrong, and I could be really grasping for straws again here, as him saying it's about winning championships, which is Kobe saying, yo, man, I got 5, you got 3. Am I reaching?
I think it's actually neither of those. I think, and I didn't hear him say it, but when I hear you say it's about winning championships, they'll fall in line, I don't even think that necessarily means it's about actually winning championships. I think what he's saying is Lakers fans put winning first. Real Lakers fans are going to put winning above everything else. And LeBron James certainly gives you a better chance to win than anybody else. So I think maybe what he's saying is when LeBron comes and LeBron starts playing and they see how much better their team is just with the addition of LeBron James, that they're going to fall in line. That they're going to be like, oh, how will we not root for this guy? Look, he's turned the team around. Just him coming here has made us a championship contender. And I'm putting contender in air quotes because, like, what does it really mean to be a contender now with, like, the Warriors and blah, 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 blah. But it certainly makes them, like, they're going to go from not being a playoff team to being a like, they're certainly, last year, it doesn't matter what happens in the league. The Lakers are not contenders. The Lakers are Kevin Durant sprained ankle away from being no air quotes contenders, right?
Yeah.
So I think what he was just saying is it's about winning, and you'd have to be stupid. He's predicting LeBron James is going to bring a winning culture back. And if you care about winning, then you'll fall in line.
Okay.
And I think he's right. And I think he's trying to say all the right things. Because I think
so
Kobe...
you don't think how I read it of being like, yo, it's about championships. LeBron only has 3.
But, like, then why would they fall in line? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think Kobe... I mean, do I think maybe Kobe, like, thinks he's better than LeBron James because he has 5 and LeBron only has 3? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, Kobe doesn't seem like a dumb guy. I think Kobe was a selfish basketball player.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes the selfishness got in the way. Like, the selfishness was above his intelligence. Like, if you're a smart basketball player, you wouldn't want Shaq to leave, right? But I think he was more selfish about it. I think he knew that they were going to be bad.
Yeah.
And would rather be bad and be selfish.
Sure.
But I think Kobe's a pretty smart guy, and I think deep down Kobe knows LeBron James is a better basketball player than me.
Sure.
I mean, how could you not know that? Who would you have to be to not know that LeBron James is a better basketball player than you? Jordan's also a selfish psychopath, and I guess has an argument as to why he would maybe be better. So maybe Michael Jordan believes it.
I think they both believe it.
I don't think Kobe Bryant, deep down in his soul, on a lie detector test, thinks he's a better basketball player than LeBron James. How could he? How could he? He knows the game. We've seen the Kobe fucking spotlight or whatever it is. We've seen him break down the film. He knows basketball. He doesn't really believe that. He might say he believes that. You always see these guys go like, I believe I'm the best player. I believe I'm the best wide receiver in the whole game. You know what I mean? You always see these guys who say it. I don't think he believes it.
Yeah.
I think it's different what you say and what you believe.
Well, it is a slow sports news time when I'm bringing up women's tennis.
Yeah, for sure. I can't even begin to imagine. Are they demanding what the men get paid or something?
Well, before we get to dirtball calls, because people were losing their mind over the Serena Williams.
Oh, the cat suit thing?
Yeah.
Who cares? I was under the impression I have almost no knowledge of tennis. I was under the impression you were always supposed to wear like a white outfit on a tennis court, or like at the very least like a white based outfit.
Well, the issue that the French Open is saying is that it's basically tights.
Okay, and you're not allowed to wear tights. I don't know anything about the story. I know it was black,
so that's why they call it the cat suit.
Right. But was the issue the color or the issue is the style?
It was the style.
So she could wear an all black skirt and dress top. She could wear like a.
You know what? I'm not fully.
I know Wimbledon, you have to wear white.
See, I guess I don't know either.
I mean, they're called tennis whites. You know what I mean? Like you're supposed to wear white on a tennis court.
Well, I guess. I mean, she wore it last year.
But now she's also saying she doesn't care. Like everybody's standing for Serena. She just did the U.S. Open press conference and was like, it's not a big deal. A lot of my team's French. Like you can pull up the quote that she said. She's like, everybody's blowing this out of proportion. But of course, 2018, woke America. She's a woman and she's black. So now everybody has to defend her fucking everything. Meanwhile, she's like, I don't care.
Yeah, you're right. That's a quote from just 4 hours ago. I'm pulling it up. She was laughing, saying, everything is fine, guys. She said, the Grand Slams have a right to do what they want to do, but I feel like if and when, or if they know that some things are for health reasons, then there's no way that they wouldn't be okay with it. Yeah, because she wore it for, she was wearing a special outfit. You know, like they wear the leg compression things.
Sure.
It was something, like that for her body. She just had a kid.
Right.
And she's had problems with blood clots, which happens after women give birth.
It didn't seem like this is, from the way it came out, it doesn't seem like this is a strict thing that there's a conversation that's happening here.
And she even said she spoke with the guy, your people, Guidicelli, the guy who made this change. She said I spoke directly about him, and he was easy to talk to. This is the outfit, see?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. She said, my whole team is basically French. We have a wonderful relationship. I'm sure we'll come to an understanding and everything will be okay. It really would be a big deal.
So, hey, fat white women, shut the fuck up. Serena doesn't care. Maybe you shouldn't either. This weekend, I almost deleted Twitter just for the weekend. I almost deleted Twitter and just didn't. I was like, I can't go on. I can't be on social media this weekend.
What happened?
Too many things. I'm not even going to get into it because I don't want to fucking say anything that I shouldn't be saying. But like some of the things people were upset about, some of the things people were, honoring, some of the things that people were like, oh, this needs to be talked about and this needs to be talked about. I'm like, do we really? We're doing this now? I can't. I was like, no.
Wait, was it because of everything from this?
Serena.
John McCain's dad.
John McCain.
The shooting in Jacksonville.
Yeah, I mean the shooting, like, yeah, it's all fucking,
You know what, Prano? I think you're right because I was basically off of Twitter all weekend. I did one tweet late Saturday night about how much I love girls showing their ass.
Yeah. It's like, to me,
and then I did one last night about
like,
Play-Doh.
The hypocrisy puke that happens to me, like, I get rage, rage hands when I'm like, okay, let's have our weekly gun control bonanza tweets, because apparently dead children are bad unless John McCain's involved, and then not really. Then we don't care about them at all.
Well, no, I agree, man. It's I get frustrated too.
Carpet bombed 500,000 Cambodians.
But let's I think we both agree then. That's basically what I did. I just got off it. Dude, it's great. Like, fuck it.
Serena Williams, she said, I don't care. This isn't a big deal. White men are like, this is 2018. Don't say what black women can and can't wear when they're the peak of their game. It's like, stop it. Stop it. Stop. She doesn't care. She does not care. Stop it. Stop fucking. Your wokeness has to fucking stop.
I quote tweeted and then I deleted it because I just go, I don't want to open this up. At first, I got annoyed. I quote tweeted Elizabeth Banks. She's one of the most annoying Hollywood woke white female celebrities that there is. She basically stereotyped all men in her tweet on this, which made me laugh. So I quote tweeted it, and at first I wrote a joke like "Stop mansplaining," But then I was like, no, because then, like you're saying,
I saw that. I think I liked it. I thought that was funny. Stop mansplaining.
But I didn't want to. You know what I'm saying, right,
Yeah.
Brando? I didn't want then.
You didn't want the woke white woman in your mentions.
I was like, I deleted it within 5 minutes because I thought I don't want to deal with this shit because I just had gone paddleboarding. I had a fucking great day.
I unfollowed some people this weekend. I was like, nope, I don't care. And honestly,
comedians,
dirtballs. If you got unfollowed, look, I know I've said things in the past. If you do this for us, if you follow this, if you retweet this, I'll follow you back. Like, this is not a lifetime pass. You don't get to fucking do. I'm not going to talk about, like, again, I don't want to go into it. We've gone down too many of those wormholes on this show. We don't need to go into it, but there's some things you don't get a lifetime pass. There's some things that you can't tweet about positively and then still be followed by me.
Well, good. I think that's a healthy way to do it.
You're out.
Do you want to listen? Speaking of the dirt balls, as I look for the headphones, do you want to listen to some phone calls?
Sure.
A minute. All right, let's listen to the people. And you know what? Let's do a little intro. We haven't done the intro song for a minute. Dirt balls, dirt ball calls. Yeah. Dirt balls, dirt ball calls. Dirt balls, dirt ball calls. We got the dirt balls, dirt ball calls. You think we need to update that?
No. Why?
I'm just curious. All right, let's hear from the fam. We'll start with our boy Salad _breadsticks.
Oh yeah.
What's up, boys? It's your boy, the artist formerly known as Salad _breadsticks on Twitter. I had to get rid of Twitter because of my job, but I still have an Instagram under the same name, so go follow that. Got a quick question for you guys. I've been catching up on the final season of Casual. Love it. Andy, congrats on getting Tommy Dewey on the Debt Report. Great episode. I just want to know what you guys think about this final season. I love this show entirely. It's really good. I like how it kind of took a time jump and has kind of talked about, I hate to say this word, but social justice issues, And there's even parallels to what you guys talk about. There's the whole final Super Bowl episode where they talk, a lot about the issues with the NFL. And then there's even mention of Bill Walton and his hallucinogenic drugs, and I love it. So, yeah, it's just great. It's just great all around. But anyway, guys, love you guys. Mean that from the bottom of my heart, and stay dirty.
I'll be honest. I had not, and I told Tommy this when he was on Denton Report, and he did a great job. I had not watched an episode of the fourth and final season yet. I heard this call last night, and after he said Bill Walton, I watched the first episode. So I'm only one episode in.
I watched one episode as well.
Okay.
Well, I just haven't had time to watch
basically
anything. I haven't even. I think I told you last time we did this. Like I only got through half of an episode of the last Hard Knocks. Yeah, I watched it. I picked up on in that one episode because I know he talks. But obviously, and I don't want to. Not that Casual is like necessarily like a spoiler-filled show, but I don't want to say anything for people that are maybe still catching up. But there's certain things in that first episode where you're like, obviously, a significant amount of time has passed. And then, but then there's like, did I pick up on this? Was there like a talking car? Was like a self-driving car? Was she in the back of like a self-driving Uber at one point?
She was.
So I think they were trying to show that it's even like this is a future episode. Like this is set in the future.
Well, it is. So basically season 4 is, what do we want to say? Anywhere from 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
After season 3.
Yeah.
Which is smart because self-driving cars will be a thing in 3 years. I really do. I mean, they're already doing test runs.
Yeah, I mean, I think the technology's there. It's just a matter of whether or not they get,
yeah,
rolled out into society.
So it sounds like Joe can't either fully delve into it because we both only watched one episode.
But I love the show. I'm a big fan.
It's a good show.
And when I started watching it, I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna get into the final season, and I can't wait to watch it. And I remember Tommy mentioning Bill Walton. I think when he was here, or maybe when we were out to lunch at one time or something like that, he had Bill Walton makes an appearance, or his voice makes an appearance, or something like that. So that's just another reason to watch it. But sounds like salad_breadsticks.
Big fan of it.
Saying it lives up to the first 3 seasons, which were all fantastic. So hashtag casual binge. Let's get some of those bingers back.
And we should pop over there. He's got a new pad.
Who's that?
Tommy does.
Oh yeah, and I heard you guys talking on your podcast too about which I think just has to happen, a Ruther Tommy bike podcast.
What the fuck is that all about?
I mean, we'll just get you some lav mics. We'll put the Zoom in a backpack. You guys are just gonna have to bike and podcast.
Yeah, what were we saying on Denton Report? That we would bike
from like here to there, or vice versa.
He lives in Los Feliz now.
Yeah,
which is like 20. Because I know from going to Goldberg's.
Yeah.
It's like 23 miles.
Yeah. I mean, he was biking 60 miles a day or something like that, right?
50 miles a day.
Yeah. Now it's just whether or not you have it in you.
Okay, can I be honest?
Can Stone Crawler do 20 miles on the vintage bike?
Oh, easily. After Tommy did the episode of Denton Report and he was talking about biking 50 miles a day in France, it got me thinking. I think I want to bike to San Francisco at some point.
I think you should do that.
I knew you were going to laugh. I don't know.
You going to do the one?
My only concern with the one is, I was just on the one, obviously, when my mom was in town, is the cars. And I kept saying to my mom, oh my God, cars are zooming by at 75, 80 miles an hour. And these bikers, like, I don't know how safe I would feel.
Oh, yeah. I mean, every time I drive up to Malibu, I'm like, who are you people and what are you doing? But the other question is then, like, where would you, like, what do you take, back roads the whole way? It doesn't seem like, I almost feel like that's the most back road of back roads that goes up.
Well, I did the math. Let's say
you're not riding on the side of the 101.
Do you think I could do 50 miles a day?
I don't know. I
mean, up hills is going to be tough.
I mean, how many miles an hour do you bike? I guess you probably bike in the 12 to 15 mile an hour range, right? So that's 4 hours of biking with stops to go 50 miles. I mean, people do it.
I don't know why. I just got it in my head. I was like, what if I bike to San Francisco?
You should.
What's San Francisco? 300 miles from here?
Yeah.
More?
Yeah, more. I mean, I don't know. It depends how you go, right? And then there's also like if you went up the one, you're not biking 50 miles an hour up up the fucking cliffs in Big Sur and shit.
Fuck no. Not even Big Sur. Dude, even way before that.
Yeah.
You're hitting massive mountains.
Right. I'm saying, but like when you get there, that's going to be, you walk your bike? I don't know. Like, I don't think you'd take that bike. That's for sure.
No, I would need a different bike.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to get this bike serviced.
Well, it seems like Tommy's coming along with you and you're podcasting the whole way. Honestly, I think it should just be its own podcast.
Me and Tommy go to San Francisco.
Just like a serial, like a 12 episode.
Yeah, but here's the difference. He probably doesn't have the amount of time I have.
Right.
Busy doing TV and movies, and I'm just like Dustin. Like this would be considered Dustin for me.
Right.
Well, I was also inspired because I saw Eric Burns, who we need to get on the show.
Yeah.
But I saw he's basically running across America.
Is he?
Something like that.
Fuck. Burns is a lunatic.
He's nuts, dude.
That's ridiculous to me. I ran for the first time in literally forever yesterday. I ran like fucking 2.5 miles. I was like, I'm dying. I'm dead.
You ran?
Yeah.
Where'd you run to?
I just ran from, I basically was I'm dog sitting for Brian.
Okay.
So just ran to Brian's place.
Yeah, it's the first time I've heard you running.
Yeah. I don't run, but I was like, I had been lazy all weekend. I didn't have a chance to surf. I didn't have a chance to fucking do anything. I didn't have a chance to swim. I didn't have a chance to whatever. So I was like, I got to do something. And I was like, I got to just get over there. So instead of fucking birding or Ubering, I was like, I'll just run. Fuck. Yeah. Running across America? No thanks.
I don't know, man. I did.
Any of that super endurance shit? I go, what are you trying to prove here, man?
Yeah, but I'm kind of getting more into it, or like more interested in it. I did 9.5 miles on Saturday. I mean, that was the
running.
That was the first time I ran a decent length in a while. I started. I was going around the marina, and
Salad and breadsticks. Like, what are you talking about at this point? Like, he's like, my call was 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I was really happy because my thought was this: if I can just do 9.5 miles on a whim, I'm in good cardio.
Yeah.
Dude, that's stand-up paddleboarding. Jesus Christ, bro.
You do it again?
I did it Friday, and it was different. The current was very difficult to go out, and the wind was bad, and I was like, oh, shit. This is a lot more difficult. But the seals.
This is still in the marina, right?
In the marina. I got very bold. I don't know what the deal is with seals. I got to the point where I was going up to seals. They were swimming underneath me.
Oh, they'll fuck with you for sure.
And that's what I thought. But they seem curious and friendly. And I'm like, yo, I'm going to go see what's going on with the seals.
I've had seals tug on my surf leash.
Yeah.
I've had seals like bump my board.
I'm bringing my phone out next time. I'm risking it. I want to film some of this shit.
Better get yourself like a waterproof OtterBox or something.
I want to get a GoPro maybe. Is there any chance of sharks being in the marina?
Almost no chance.
That's what I thought.
I mean, is there a chance? Yes.
Not that I'm concerned. I'm just because when you see seals, you think sharks.
Yeah. Is there a chance? Yeah. The likelihood very, very small because sharks they want to be in deep water. They don't want to be fucking. Something's wrong with a shark if it's in the marina.
It's too shallow.
Yeah, it's too shallow. It's too warm. It's too dirty.
So dirty.
They're out there hunting for fish.
I don't know, man. I did watch Shark Week. You see them in shallow water sometimes, but not in marina shallow water.
Right.
All right. Thank you, Salad_breadsticks. See where you have taken us. All right, let's get to another call.
What's up, guys? My name is Jonah. I'm from Houston, Texas, and I swam Division I at the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. We were the 16 seed that upset Virginia in the tournament, and I just wanted to hear you guys' burning hot takes for the NFL season. such as he's going to win MVP or he's going to win the Super Bowl. And also, I'd like to say, fuck anyone who says student athletes get too much. We work 20-plus hour weeks of practice, and I get up at 5:30 4 days a week to lift, and then we have swim practice after that. And then we swim again in the afternoon, 2 hours every day. And anyways, condoms are for the NCAA, those cucks.
What was he saying? People shouldn't say what? That they get too much?
That student athletes get too much. So he's a swimmer at University of Maryland, Baltimore County.
Yeah.
That's a long day, by the way. Holy shit.
Yeah.
School, lifting, swimming.
We all remember college, though, right? Like, it's not like you're in school all day. I mean, when you were in college, you got up, you went to class, came home, fucking napped, played some Madden, went and had some lunch, went to another class, fucking napped, got high. Like, we're not talking about, you're not going to class 9 to 5. No, don't get me wrong, getting up at 4:30 is no fucking fun, but like,
it is different though when you're on a Division I sport, when you're playing on a team.
Yeah.
I mean, neither of us did that.
Right. But my point is, like, I mean, middle of the day, he's mixing in a nap, right? Like,
what are we going to do for the NFL? He's out talking about, he wants to know what? Our MVP?
He wants to know he said to give some burning hot takes. I mean, we're going to have to do a preview episode, right?
But when are we doing that? Because our first, normally we drop the preview. I guess would it drop the day that we're actually physically, we record ahead of time when we're in Chicago?
Well, we're recording. I mean, are you saying, are we going to do a preview show next Monday? Or are we going to do a preview show? Is our preview show our live podcast?
Well, here's what I was planning. Well, fuck it. We'll just discuss it all right now.
Yeah.
Our live podcast is on a Thursday night.
Correct.
I was thinking that would then be the podcast which we release Monday.
Aha. That'd be after the week 1.
We're going to kind of have to do it that way. Right?
So the podcast that we release that Thursday, that'll be our preview episode.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And then Monday's episode will just be whatever.
The live podcast.
The live podcast.
And we'll still be there. And we'll still be doing whatever. So, like, that works out perfectly. Then we don't have to record a Monday episode.
That's what I was thinking.
Boom.
Look,
I mean, who do I think is going to be, like, we're going to do a preview episode. And I haven't even really, like, sat down to think about the, all of the Super Bowl. I haven't looked at the divisions. I mean, I could do that off the top of my head, but we're going to do a preview episode. But I'm going to go with just Aaron Rodgers MVP. Here's a little preview. Aaron Rodgers. Like, I know that's not a super hot take, but, like, when in doubt, it's a quarterback's league. I'm going to take the best quarterback. Aaron Rodgers MVP.
Who won MVP last year?
It was
Tom Brady.
Brady, right?
Yeah. Because Todd Gurley won Offensive Player of the Year. That's why I was like, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to another call.
Fam, it's me.
Oh, hold on a second. This dude left 1,000 calls. Let me find one where he's not just
screaming.
Yeah. Hold on.
Who is this?
This is SF Purple Haze on YouTube.
Okay. Love people coming in with the fucking YouTube names now.
SF Purple Haze.
Love it.
What's going on, Ruther? Prano? It's your boy, Jay Cabrera, SF Purple Haze. Just wanted to ask you guys, because you guys always talk about, like, faithless trolls and all that nonsense. And then, and I understand both sides of it, actually. People don't want to lose their jobs and put their name out there so then it can get traced back. And, yeah, you shouldn't be talking that extra shit. So, boom. But then anytime that, like, a player or a former player gets brought out on old, like, racist tweets or they're talking that extra spicy shit and it gets brought to light, then people are like, oh, what are you, a loser? What kind of person cares about this? This or that. But then that goes kind of against the whole faceless troll thing, because it's like, yeah, they put their name on it, and there it is. So, like, either don't talk that extra smoke, or just own it, or get ready to get put on an apology tour. I kind of tweeted this earlier on the Not Dirty Sports Twitter page, but I was wondering, like, so, because it seems like both sides of the fences are getting played, and I get both sides. And, you know what I mean? If I was a $100,000 banker or whatever the fuck y'all were talking about, I definitely wouldn't put my name on it. But, I don't know. Just wanted to get you guys' thoughts on that. And let's see. I'm going to stick with comments and still for Antonio Cromartie for not being able to name his kids. I can't believe it. That's just disgusting. Y'all have a good one. Peace out.
So, I think I followed most of that. But, so my issue with the deep dive on people's tweets is there has to be, you have to take into consideration the age somebody was when they tweeted something and the time when somebody tweeted. So I watched this. You're going to love this. I got caught in an Adam Sandler fucking rabbit hole yesterday. I was house sitting, so I had cable for the first time, whatever. Big Daddy was on CMT. So I put on Big Daddy. You know I love Big Daddy.
Hold on a second before you go on. Big Daddy, this is what country music television is playing now.
Yeah. Well, let's not even go there.
Big Daddy?
So Big Daddy's on. So I put on Big Daddy. Love Big Daddy. Turns out it was some sort of comedy. They were calling it like Comedy Sunday or something like that. But it was really just Adam Sandler Sunday. It was an Adam Sandler marathon. So later in the day, Chuck and Larry is on. What is it called? I forget the full name of that.
I now pronounce you Chuck
and Larry. That movie in 2018 is so offensive to gay people.
Oh, yeah.
And Rob Schneider's in it playing a fucking, he plays an Asian reverend where they get married in Canada. He's wearing fucking like Coke bottle glasses. He has like a fucking bowl cut. He's playing like an Asian stereotype from like a 1950s like political cartoon. He's like, I know, chocolate.
So he's playing like a anti-Japanese propaganda World War II.
Yeah. I mean, look this up. But here's the thing. Nobody gave a shit when it came out. You know what I mean? No one was like, this movie is like fucking, the whole movie's like, oh, it's creepy that you guys are gay. My point is, it was appropriate then. Is it inappropriate now? Watching that movie in 2018, I couldn't even believe CMT would show it, honestly. But this deep dive into people's tweets, going back to when they're a teenager, for one, or going back 10 years to when it was okay to make pedophile jokes on the internet, and now people go, you can't say anything. You can't even say fucking Serena Williams should wear white while playing tennis without getting fucking, put on a cross. That's, to me, my problem on the people going the deep dive. The faceless troll thing is completely different to me. If you have an opinion, then fucking have an opinion. If you're too pussy to have an opinion, if you're afraid what you're saying might get you in trouble, then don't say it.
Don't have an opinion.
Then don't have an opinion.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid that anything that I'm saying is going to get me in trouble. In fact, I know some shit that I'm saying is going to get me in trouble.
Sure.
I know that people can read some of my tweets and be like, this is offensive, but I still put my name on it because I'm like, fine, come after me. Now, this weekend, I was like, you know what? The shit I want to say about some of the shit that people are talking about this weekend, like I want to go so over the top against what some people are saying here that it's only going to cause people to freak the fuck out. And I go, I just don't even care that much.
Yeah.
Now, did I go under fucking the Mike D'Antoni Twitter account that I run and fucking start tweeting about John McCain? No, because I'm not a pussy ass bitch. I make fun of fucking Carmelo Anthony as Mike D'Antoni, and I make fun of Carmelo Anthony as Joe Prano. I don't give a fuck. Am I going on the Mike D'Antoni account or the Dirty Sports account and saying John McCain is a fucking mass murderer? No. Because I'm like, I'm going to stay out of this altogether. If you are only willing to say your opinions behind a fake account, a fake picture, a fake name, you're a pussy. The end. Either man up and put your name on it, or be a pussy and stay the fuck off the internet.
I concur with everything you just said. End of story.
And I understand, like, he was saying there's kind of a blurry line, but I think these are two totally different issues.
Yeah. No, I agree. Well, look, guys, that is our show. If you want to call the hotline, the number is 310-359-8365. Once again, we're a little over a week away. Chicago DirtBall fan meetup. I would love to see you guys. Joe would love to see you guys. Love to hang out. Got a full week of activities. Go check out the description of this podcast.
White Sox game, live podcast. 3 nights of headlining, including multiple shows each night. Sunday football, week 1 bonanza, Cubs game. I'm fucking stoked. Also, if you're up in the Bay Area, joeprano.com. I'll be in the East Bay. I'll be in San Francisco on Saturday night. I'll be in Santa Cruz on Sunday.
Perfect. Wait, when are you doing those shows?
This weekend.
Okay, but you'll be here for Thursday's show.
Yes.
All right, guys. Check it all out. joeprano.com, dirtysports.com. At Fix Your Life on Twitter, at Joe Prano on Instagram, and at Andy Ruther for all my things. As usual.
Can I throw one more plug in there?
Go ahead.
Since if you're listening to this, you've already gotten to the end of the Dirty Sports. I know you haven't listened to it yet, but I shouted you out on the opening of this week's episode of the Joe Prano podcast. I said I didn't want to talk too much sports with my guests this week because I didn't want to cheat on my podcast wife, Andy Ruther, who I do a sports podcast with. But I did have if you're a sports fan, and if you're listening to the show, I assume you are, I had former NBA player Paul Shirley on the Joe Prano podcast this week, who played for Mike D'Antoni.
Perfect. Check it out. I'm still getting through some of your other ones, but I will get to that this week as well. Once again, if you use any of our promo codes, send us a screenshot. I will send you some koozies. And most importantly, give us an iTunes review. You get a follow back. Drop your Twitter handle, drop your Instagram handle, whatever it is. Automatic follow back. All right, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode. Have a great week. And most importantly, don't forget, condoms are for pussies.